All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushai, by Hashem, Rechahakudash, divine and smart apostles, a great millstone, and peace and salutation to the hopeful members of the elect. All right, the Bechar the house of David that's been preordained, predestined to get delivered in these last end times and to be the ruling governing body of the nation, Ayasha Allah. Okay, so you can see the title. It says diesel shortage / where the economy is headed in 2023 / digital IDs, etc. So I got a few articles I want to go into and then match it up with prophecy, with scriptures. So I'm trying to set up my screen or to share it. All right, hopefully, let me see. I don't know why it's I gotta push this. I should have checked it before I started, but okay, I don't know why it's Salakia. Bear with me for 1 second. I don't know if it's even yeah, share screen. Here we go. Okay. All right. So, all right, the first thing we're going to go into is the diesel shortage. All right. And this is going to affect America in a very big way because without diesel, which he's going to tell you in this video, Dabu 7, without diesel, there's going to be hardly any food. All right. It's going to be an inflation on food prices. Okay. Gas prices, a whole lot of other commodities. So this is code red. Major fuel supplier starts emergency protocols. U.S. now has just 24 days of diesel supply, and this came out 9 days ago. So less than 3 weeks. Okay. Mhm. Right. Right. See, that's going to with inflation, that's going to lead to an economic collapse. All right, we've seen it time and time again in certain nations where their inflation happened and the dollar or their currency collapse. Okay, so this is Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, the full storehouses, so like your grocery stores, all right, different places where you get, items and produce, it says shall suddenly be found empty. All right. So all that is about to be empty soon. Okay. Again, without diesel, and they bring in, these truckers bring in commodities, they bring in the gas. All right. So that's going to inflate the prices, you see, and that's going to soon drive into an economic collapse. And it's all being done by design because the elites, they have an agenda. All right. And that's part of their New World Order. Klaus Schwab is fourth industrial revolution. They want to track everyone soon. Okay. They want to, the Revelation 13 chapter, the sea hit. All right. That's what they want to incorporate. Okay. To track the masses. Okay. So I have another article. It says the big tech companies are telling us exactly where the economy is headed in 2023. Okay, that's why I titled some, like just half of it, where the economy is headed in 2023. Okay, it says the economic collapse. If you didn't like the economic conditions in 2022, then you are definitely not going to be pleased by what is coming in 2023. This year, we have had to deal with rampant inflation, very sluggish economic activity, and the beginning of a horrifying house crash, and that hasn't been fun. But it appears that next year will be even worse. Most of the big tech companies have been reporting dismal numbers for the third quarter, and that is a very bad sign. Even when just about everyone else was scuffling along, we could always count on the big tech companies to produce booming numbers. But now that has changed in a major way, and their stock prices are being absolutely hammered as a result. Just look at what is happening to Facebook. Overall revenue actually declined during the third quarter, and the numbers that they just released deeply alarmed investors on Wall Street, right? Because no one was buying into the whole metaverse. Okay. You can read here, while revenue fell 4% in the third quarter, Meta's costs and expenses rose 19% over a year to $22.1 billion. Operating income declined 46% from the previous year to $5.66 billion. Meta's operating margin, or the profits left after accounting for costs to run the business, sank to 20% from 36% a year earlier. Overall net income was down 52% to $4.4 billion in the third quarter. So they're losing money. Okay. And skipping down. Okay. Let's go into right here. It says this year, Meta, Netflix, Amazon, Microsoft, Alphabet, and Apple have lost $2.5 trillion in market value combined, Reuters reported Wednesday. Okay. And these are all part of, these tech companies, have a helping hand in the economy. Okay. And they're all plummeting. You see, housing, construction, and renovation plummeted 26.4%, the sixth straight quarterly drop. Fed rate hikes have driven up mortgage rates, pummeling home sales and building. All right. So, the economy, is going to be even worse next year. Okay. That's what these, these higher ups, that's what they're saying. Okay. Again, we have, a diesel shortage, and, there's going to be less food in the stores. It's going to be higher prices for food. Okay. And then soon there's going to be an economic collapse. And then that's when the show is going to begin. That's when all hell's about to break loose. All right. And the Lord's going to judge the earth, man. I mean, he's already judging the earth, but that's when people are really they're going to receive judgment. They're going to know that a higher power is doing this. Okay. This is 2 Ezra chapter 15, verse 5. Behold, said the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. Okay. For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. All right. So this is what's going to come upon the earth, man. And it's already coming upon the earth gradually. But once all hell break loose, once we enter into a time called Jacob's trouble, all right, when it's just full-fledged, just all out hell breaking loose, no electricity, no food, no water, no going to work, all that is about to end. All right. This is coming upon the earth, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. Okay, and you had these different weathers, these hurricanes that's been attacking these farmlands. All right, you had these so-called these food corporations suddenly catching on fire, which is all by design because again the elites have an agenda. It's called the Hegelian dialect. All right, problem, reaction, solution. They want to tear down their own system so they can build up a new system, a new world order. All right, that's their whole idea, but it's going to backfire on them. All right. So, yeah, let's go into, let me see. Second Ezra chapter 15, verse 11, it says, "But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm and smite Egypt with plagues as before and will destroy all the land thereof." Okay. And, Egypt, the Lord, those plagues that the Lord was sending upon Egypt, ultimately that destroyed Egypt's economy. And then the Lord destroyed Egypt's military, Pharaoh and his military. And that's what the Lord is doing today. All right. He's destroying America, but not only America, but all these nations' economy. All right. Ultimately Esau, because this is his rulership. But once he sends his son Yahushai, all right, he's going to destroy all these militaries, all these nations' military, man. So that's what we're seeing. We're literally seeing the process, all right, of all out hell breaking loose, World War III. That's all you hear in the talk. In the news is World War III. What's going on over there in Ukraine and Russia. And it's funny because people thought, people are looking at Russia like, these guys are losing. But now Putin stepped it up. Putin actually stepped it up, man. All right. Threatened, to send nuclear missiles, started, capturing regions in Ukraine and annexing them, and said, "Hey, look, if you even come over here, there's going to be some issues." You see, because the Lord is pitting, Russia. It says in Ezekiel 38. All right, I'm gonna get it. It says Ezekiel 38 verse 1, "And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against God, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him." And the land of Gog, or the land of Magog, is Russia, okay? "And say, Thus saith the Lord power, behold, I am against thee, O God, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal," because they're Edomites ultimately. "And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords." Okay, so the Lord's preparing Russia to go back into that USSR state of mind again. All right, and he has allies with him, Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with him, all of them with shield and helmet. Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togomar and of the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee. You see, "Be thou prepared and prepare thyself, and thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them." You see, and Russia has its own allies. You have the BRICS. What is it? Brazil, Russia, I believe India, and China. So these nations are preparing for war. All right, and that World War III is going to ultimately take place where? All right, the hot zone is going to be in the Middle East. All right, in the Valley of Jehoshaphat or Yehoshaphat. Bear me for 1 second while I get the scripture. All right, Joel chapter 3, verse 9. It says, "Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up." All right. So all these nations are preparing for war. "Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears." And these are agricultural devices. But the Lord's saying, put them down. Okay. And it's like it says, "Let the weak say, I am strong." So let me read it again. It says, "Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears." So the Lord is pin the minds of these other nations to focus more on their military, to do military drills, to invest more into military weapons. Now every nation has nuclear capabilities. All right. Even these once upon a time these weaker nations, now they have nuclear missiles. Like for example, India. All right. It says, "Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat," which is Yahweh Shaphat in the Hebrew, meaning Yahweh's judgment, because that's where he's going to judge all the nations when he sends his son, Yahushai, and he's going to obliterate them, okay? He's going to come back what you call a UFO and chariots, all right, with a host of angels, man, and laser beam them. It talks about that in 2nd Esdras, the 13th chapter, okay? It says, "For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about," right? So, that ultimately that's coming, man. All right, economic collapse, okay? And then, you have national digital ID clears congressional hurdle amid fears it could be politically abused. And this is all gearing up to the MOTB, okay? Because they're all doing this gradually. You just have England, for example, they just dumped their currency, the paper money, and now they're, operating off of CBDC, okay? So, digital currency. And this is just one step closer to the MOTB, all right? And the economy is not looking so good. They say it's going to be worse even next year. Ultimately, that's going to, lead to economic collapse. But out of that, they're going to, have the MOTB, take this. We have a solution. Take this if you want to be in our society. That's how it's going to play out, all right? And after that, you have World War III just pop up. But we're seeing the gradual process of all this happening. Okay, let me see if anything. All right. So it says national digital ID clears congressional hurdle amid fears it could be politically abused. It says, and a national digital ID systems for U.S. citizens is fast becoming a reality following a vote by the U.S. Senate Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee to advance the Approving Digital Identity Act. Okay, and I looked that up, and it's right here. It says, no, that's not it. It says U.S. creeps towards digital ID legislation as election looms. This is all just one step closer to the MOTB spoken in Revelation, the 13th chapter. All right, you see, and this is all part of prophecy. Let me get Habakkuk. Because you hear people say, "Oh, you people have been saying that for years." Well, the Lord has an appointed time when prophecy has to be fulfilled, and you're seeing the gradual process. See, the Lord likes a backstory. It's not going to just. No, it has to be a backstory. It has to be, events taking place and scenarios taking place. All right. This is the Lord's movie. Habakkuk chapter 2. Verse 3, for the vision is yet, and what's the vision? Prophecy. The vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, so you people are like, you guys have been saying that for years. It seems like it's tarrying, right? But it says, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. And once all that hell break loose, when it's ultimately just full-fledged Jacob's trouble, that's it. It's going to be one thing after another, just like a snowball effect. All right, until this place, be annihilated. Till Yahushua returns with the host of angels, deliver the elect. All right, laser beams this place, rip this place apart. Nuclear missiles falling from, coming out the silos from these other nations. All right, target towards America, and then, destroying this place, America. All right. And ultimately, Esau's kingdom will be destroyed, man. And Yahushua, when the elect, is going to come down, all right, and establish their kingdom, our kingdom, man. Okay. Okay, that was it right there. And Esau, again, we're seeing this man's kingdom, you know, spiraling down the drain. Okay, food prices is gonna increase. Watch, everything is gonna increase next year, man. And people are gonna go crazy. There's gonna be more riots. All right, people are gonna be, hey, the love of many shall wax cold, and you're seeing that, man. All right, it's gonna be more crime rate, killings, and that's not even, all out hell breaking loose yet. Okay, so imagine when all out hell breaks loose, man. Spoken in Second Ezra, the 15th chapter, man. Let me just read that real quick, actually, since I said it. It says, Second Ezra chapter 15. Oh, Salakia. Ecclesiasticus. Second Ezra chapter 15, verse 19. It says, a man shall no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, food, water, and for great tribulation. All right? And we're at the end of Esau's world. And see, all this being done by design by the elites, and they think, that they're doing it, but really it's the Most High doing it, okay? They think that they're doing it, all right? They think that they can destroy, this society, and a new society will arise. That's their whole MO, all right? But no, it's the Lord doing it, all right? It says right when he's about to, feed his belly, that's when the Lord's going to come down and knock the spoon out of his hand, roughly paraphrasing it, okay? Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 9, it says, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, okay? This is all prophecy, all right? Because the Lord has an appointed time for all the nations that ruled, all the nations that have ruled prior, all right, like the Babylonians, the Medo-Persians, the Greeks, which are Edomites, and the Roman Empire, and now this is the Roman Empire revived all over again. They all had an appointed time until their due date. Okay, the same thing with this place. The same thing with America, man. It's no different. America has a due date, and it's going to be destroyed. Okay. Let's get Job, the 14th chapter. Job chapter 14. I'm gonna read this too, but let me just read this chapter right here. All right, Job chapter 14, verse 5. It says, seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. So Esau his kingdom has a due date. All right. Now it says, or I read the title, the U.S. Senate Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee has voted to advance the Improving Digital Identity Act, moving one step further toward legislation that lays the foundation for a national digital ID system for American citizens, according to Mary Talk, and one more step closer to the MOTB. Now headed to the Senate floor for full consideration, the bill aims to establish a public-private digital identity task force charged with strengthening privacy and digital ID verification methods across U.S. government agencies. And so you people are not going to have you're not going to have privacy, especially with this whole CBDC digital currency as well. They're going to track everything. They're already talking about, that demon Noah Yuval, which he's, with Klaus Schwab, heathens, man. All right. Talking about carbon tracking. They want to track, how much you travel, where you travel, to the food you eat, man. All right. How much food you're buying. And everything's going to be tracked, man. You see, this man, this place where to keep on going, there'll be no flesh to be saved. This is just a horrible, a terrible kingdom, man. All right. No privacy. Everything is just like you're like in a prison. Okay. It says now headed to the Senate floor for full consideration. The bill aims to establish a public-private digital identity task force charged with strengthening privacy and digital ID verification method across U.S. government agencies. The act passed the House Committee on Oversight and Reform in July. The bipartisan bill, which is sponsored by Arizona Senator Kristen Sinema and Wyoming Senator Cynthia Loomis, wow, two women, Also enables the Department of Homeland Security to award grants for upgrades to digital identity verification systems. State, local, territorial, and tribal governments will be eligible to receive support for the development of highly secure and interoperable. It's like I got a tongue twister on word. Interoperable. It's like ID systems. All right. Let me just look that word up. Interoperable. Okay. It says computer systems are software able to exchange and make use of information. Okay. It says ID systems. Finally, the Improving Digital Act Identity Act would require the Government Accountability Office to report to Congress with estimated cost savings from the wide use of digital identification and biometric technologies. A national digital ID system is seen as a potential driver of economic activity by offering security solutions for online transactions. You see that? Let me read that again. Did you catch that? It says a national digital ID system is seen as a potential driver of economic activity. You will have no privacy, you know, by offering security solutions for online transactions and as a way to combat the rise in identity fraud. And that's, come on, that's bogus because people can hack. All right. People get hacked, when they do have their all their information on digitally. Okay. People still get hacked. It says for some said system also comes with privacy concerns. However, the bill prohibits the government from creating a centralized ID database to minimize the risk of cybercrime and major data breaches. And ultimately, they want to put that digital ID. They want to ultimately put that into a chip and put it inside you, man, so they can track you. All right, you will be that walking digital ID. The U.S. holds midterm elections on November 8th, 2022, which are widely expected to result in a divided Congress. So let's go back to this. It says, although the concerns about digital IDs are real, it's important to separate the facts from the fear-mongering fictions. All right, and saying that they're trying to say it's fear-mongering. No, they ultimately have a plan to chip people, to chip the masses. In simple language, a digital identity enables an individual to prove who they are in the virtual world. Proponents claim digital IDs offer greater privacy than traditional forms of identification. It can help minimize some of the risk associated with physical documents such as driver's license, passports, etc. Others, though, are quick to sound the alarm when the introduction of digital IDs will almost certainly lead to an erosion of civil liberties. All right. And again, this is all just leading to this man's agenda. All right. This new order, compromise the MOTB, man, the C hit. Okay. So I'm going to go to, there's another video I want to show you from Dabu. All right. How they're talking about, blackouts. Okay. I got that scripture. Remember from Second Ezra. What did it say? The Lord's going to bring plagues upon this place like He did Egypt before. And one of the plagues He sent was what? Darkness. All right. So dark, man. When you lit a candle, even that wouldn't work. All right. I'll read it just one more time. Okay. Second Ezra chapter 15, verse 11. But I will bring with them a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. The Lord's going to do the same thing unto this place, man. All right. But think about it. No, a blackout, no electricity, no stove, no refrigeration. All right. No anything. It's going to be, I'm telling you, it's going to be, well, the scriptures are telling you, it's going to be all hell on earth, all hell in America. It's going to be more killing, murdering. People ain't, the love of many shall wax cold. Your neighbor is not going to have any mercy on you. It's going to be survival of the fittest. But ultimately, the Lord is going to take care of His elect. All right. The Lord's going to take care of His elect, man. Okay. It says, when everyone's starving, going through pain, and the elect is going to rejoice. Okay. Isaiah 65, verse 13, it says, therefore, thus said the Lord power, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. You see? Yeah, and they're doing this by design. Mm. Mm. Right, and that's all being done by design. And I personally believe they're gonna, attach that to the MOTV because everything has to be, digital. All right, everything has to be, tied to MOTV, through electricity. Okay, they're gonna get rid of gas. All right, and you've seen examples of this. People have the chip in some places, like in Sweden, and they can open their car, they can start it. All right, they can open their house. And you need electricity. All right, to be connected to the MOTV. You know, so hey man, once a blackout, it's gonna get crazy. It's gonna get bad. All right. It says this is Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 24. At that time shall friends fight against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountains shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. Everything gonna be lights out, man. It's gonna be no water. All right. No, and again with these diesel shortages, all right, it's gonna be hardly food on the shelves, as I got the scripture above. you know People are gonna go into panic mode. All right, and remember when this whole C19 happened in 2020, people are panicking buying food, but they're buying toilet paper, overloading on toilet paper. So hey, wait till another event happens, man, and people are gonna go in panic mode, start overbuying on food, and it's gonna be chaotic, man. All right, and it says what at that time shall friends fight one another like enemies. Your neighbor that you see, he's not gonna be cool. He's gonna be looking at you like, man, what does he got? Let me go up in his crib and take whatever he has. All right, it says, whosoever remaineth from all these that I have told thee shall escape and see my salvation and the end of your world. And that is the end of Esau's world, man. And the elect is going to be delivered out of all this chaos. The elect, whoever they may be, is going to eat, drink, be protected. All right, get spiritual power and ultimately get salvation. Okay. So, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. All right. And I like to give, actually, let me read one more verse, Slakia. It says, and the men that are received shall see it, who have not tasted death from their birth. All right. And that's going to be, the elect, man. Okay. So, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Hakodash, the honor some other apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the hopeful members of the elect. That a shalom.